So what do you think, on a separate note, what do you think about this whole Greenland? Because there's been, and Trump is very good at trolling, with the 51st state and the Panama Canal and the Gulf of America and all this stuff. But he's really been pushing this Greenland thing. And by the way, we already have 17 bases on Greenland. We could easily expand the number of bases. So we already have a presence there. We can have more of a presence if we wanted. So I don't get it, folks. What do you think? What do you think the theory is actually? Why is he doing this?
So I think it's well, first of all, I don't think we're attacking. I mean, you can even talk to most of our US like senators from the Republican side. Like no one thinks we're going to attack Greenland. I think that he's using this as one of his negotiating tactics. Whether I believe it or not doesn't matter. This is just what I think what from what I'm told he's doing. So
But
if
what's
these
the end game?
threats Oh, I think he wants to take I think that he and I think, this has been a conversation in the national security world for a long time, not taking over Greenland, but actually having a much bigger presence in Greenland.
So is he going to offer to? Because if he wanted to
I
do
think
that
he
now,
offers to buy it. I think he offers to lease it, lease the land, lease more of the land, not take over their citizens and none of that stuff. I mean, I
but what if
think that we pay a
because
I
right
think we pay
now,
a I think we pay for what we want.
because the last poll I saw, a whopping 6% of the fewer than six. There are fewer than 60,000 people in Greenland, so we're not talking about a bustling mecca here. But fewer than 6% were wanting the U.S. to take over. So they're never going to agree to be bought. They're never going to agree to be taken over. So the option is either seize it or expand the bases. But I've never heard anything about expanding the bases. What do you think, Kurt?
Well, Greenland's offered to allow the United States to have
Right.
an expansive, like they've offered that, and Donald Trump has said no, that's not what I'm asking for. I want to own you, and I think that there is this spirit of conquest that dominates a lot of everything. That Donald Trump is driven by the idea of conquest, of slapping his name on things left and right. And I think for him, like Greenland is that. I think he means what he says when he wants to take it over. And I think Stephen Miller isn't lying when he says, "Who's going to go to war over that if we do? Who's going to stand? Who's going to actually do anything about it?" Like that's the thing. You promote what you permit in this world. And the more we allow, and the world allows Donald Trump to just run roughshod over everything, the more incentivized he is to just do whatever he wants. Because who's going to stop him? Republican senators? They're not going to stop him. We watched the same Republicans on the very night that insurrectionists tried to stop a free and fair election certification go back into that chamber, 147 of them, and vote against certifying that election. Like, that's the moment where everything changed, where all bets are off, where the idea that there's these mythical Republicans out there who will be a check on Donald Trump's power. Like, no, no, they won't. They might hem and haw. They might say we don't like this, or we hope he doesn't do that. But at the end of the day, what Donald Trump's learned experience is that whatever he does and whatever happens under his power will be sanctioned and made right and whitewashed by the Republican Party. And so whether it's permitting an ICE officer to shoot a woman in her car, whether it's pardoning people who participated in the insurrection, whether it's pardoning people who've committed fraud against the United States and the taxpayers, whether it's taking a leader, maybe leader in name only, but a leader from foreign land and taking him out of his house, whether it's taking another country. His learned experience is no one's going to stop me because to this point, no one has. People just roll over and take it and say, please, sir, may I have some more? So he is incentivized to keep doing this. And the idea that anyone's going to now magically step up and stop him, that's too late. That ship sailed, man. Like he's going to do whatever the hell he wants.
So here's my question: If we go into Greenland, would that trigger Article 5 of NATO?
Yeah,
Who would
I don't
trigger
think
it
we go
though?
in yeah,
But who
but
would
we I don't
trigger it? That's the thing.
yeah,
It's
it would
like,
trigger it.
what are they going to do? Who's
Right,
going to
what's
actually
NATO
do
gonna
anything?
do? Right, it doesn't matter. Well,
Doesn't
this is
matter.
where I
It's
think
toothless.
even Bush used to say this, like, does NATO really matter? But Not when it comes to us. It matters to smaller protection
It
countries.
matters to yeah, exactly,
I
exactly.
think it does matter to us because man, you have to remember the reason NATO was created was to check Soviet aggression. That is
Yeah.
now Russian aggression. And if Putin gets away with Ukraine, same thing with Trump. Do you think he's going to stop? Do you
No,
think
in
he's
the
not going to
history
go
of
after other
mankind,
countries?
You know what though?
authoritarians who take things don't stop taking things. They keep going.
Go ahead, Ashley.
No, I really wish, and I actually agree with this part. Maybe it's my frustration of us getting blamed for Ukraine, not us, Trump, us, America. Like, why aren't we
Mhm.
doing everything? I mean, I really think that it shows how weak Europe is.
Yes, I agree with
Mhm.
that. I totally agree with that. This is happening in their own backyard, in their own borders, and
And they
everyone's
can't
looking
do
to
anything.
us, they I mean, if anything, that should be the wake-up call that Europe, you need to invest in national defense, national security big time,
Well,
so
this
that
is
you're not
look,
even
and
reliant
I
on the
give
US for
Trump
anything.
I give Trump a lot of credit for this. One of his great achievements was waking up Europe, was getting them to spend more on their defense because they were spending pitifully low amounts,
I
and
just
they
think that
should.
they never thought that they would have to spend it to protect Greenland for the United States.
Oh,
Well, but also
they're not gonna come on, Kurt.
no,
That's such
I
a
agree with
Democrat
Ashley.
talking point.
We're not going to do it. But
It's
here's
not a
my
talking
word.
point, it's an astute observation from an acute political observer.